Is Allen County born and bred. We did not list Get a Sire's Produce of Dam, so if you have something for that class, just listen for it and make sure that you're ready to come up for that. So again, if first and second place animals just stay nearby, that'll make the champions' drives go quickly. All right, have a great show. You older members, help out the younger members. Have a great one, everybody.
Check, check. start off the show, and we're first going to do the national anthem, sang by the Hockemeyer sisters.
All right, good evening. We'll get rid of that feedback. Test, test, test. All right, we're good to go. All right, good evening. We'd like to welcome you to the 2021 Allen County Meat Goat Show. We're going to be getting ready started here. Thank you so much for the Hockemeyer gals for singing the national anthem. We can go ahead and give them another hand. They do a great job. All right, as we head on in here, we do want to welcome our judge. Our judge is Jesse Kimmel of Avila, Indiana. He's an ABGA certified judge, ACT teacher, FFA advisor at Wawasee. He raises show pigs and boar goats, his wife Kara, and kids Riley and Braxton. Give our judge, Jesse Kimmel, a hand. All right, first into the ring is going to be our doe show. First in is our junior does, 3 to 6 months old. That is your class. Again, if you're just joining us, this is the 2021 Allen County Meat Goat Show. This is our first class of the evening. These are junior does that are 3 to 6 months old. We have 13 participants in this class.
Well, good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here. And we start off with a really nice 3 to 6 class here. And we start with the young lady's light-headed doe up front there. A doe that you appreciate a lot of things about. The front 2/3 of this doe, you really like her rack shape in her loin. She's got a good rib in her. You know, one I'd like to change when you get right in behind her. She tends to hock in. We'd like to give her a little bigger hip to go with the front 2/3 of that doe. But that doe is the most complete we have in class. The little doe coming in next. One that's a little fancier fronted. You love the extension she has up front. She's sound. We just got to fix her right there at that shoulder. She tends to break right there. We just need to pick her up there, level her up down her top to go up over that class winner. The little pink doe coming in next. You know, probably the fanciest doe in class. She's really neat looking from the side. She just gives up too many pounds and too much power today to bow over those top two. A doe that handles probably one of the top handling does in classes coming in. You know, she's sound. Again, one, we just got to give a bigger hip and bigger pin set to go up any higher. The big bold doe coming in, this pink doe, you love her head, you love her horn set that she has, one that you love how she handles, but when you put this one in motion, she drops from hooks to pins. We got to pick that tail head up and let her take a longer stride off those rear two. The red doe here, a heavy bone doe, you like that about her. She's an easy feeding type. We just got to make her look more like a doe. She's not feminine enough. She gets a little wastier up through that front 1/3 than we'd like. The next two doe, next 2 or 3 does coming out we have here, does we just got to design better. We got to make them better in terms of their shoulder height, level her down their top and a little bit sounder. And the does down here on the bottom, we just got to give them more natural power to and more extension to move them up any higher. Give them a round of applause for a nice class.
All right, congratulations to your junior doe 3 to 6 month winner. First place, Lauren Dickey. Second place, Maggie Warner. Third place, Evan Brubaker, Madeline Malcolm, Jackson Scheiderer, Ashton Chester, Julia Platt, Adeline Brown, Caleb Kneibler, Tate Bonin, Kaylin Moody, Holly Howard, and Tate Bonin. Next in are your 6 to 9 month old does. We should have 7 in this class. Also a reminder, if you have a first and second place animal, you will be coming in when we choose our champion and reserve champion junior does. Just a reminder, we will need Lauren Dickey's first place animal and Maggie Warner's second place animal at the gate for the choosing of our champion and reserve champion junior does.
You know, a class here with a little more depth in terms of these top four, but the one that wins the class, again, wins pretty handily. You know, this is by far the longest neck, best designed doe we have in here. You get right in behind her. She's the squarest in terms of her pin set. She handles really square up high. She gives you a good look. She's sound. That's just a really nice doe to win that class. A big productive doe coming in the second here. You love the rib shape on this one. You like when you get your hands on her in terms of that springer rib that she had. When you get right in behind her, again, I like the base her a little wider, but she's still sound in a productive package. You know, the next doe coming in here, this is kind of the problem doe in the class. You know, one that's got some rib shape and I think some natural muscle, but when you get her in motion, she's too open-shouldered. She drops in that neck set. We need to have that neck come more on the top side of her shoulder and hold herself together a little better when we put her on the move. You know, probably the breeding piece is coming in fourth here. This one's a big-footed, heavy-boned one that's got some handle to her. She's just too small. She's in too small of a package. You know, she needs to be a bigger frame doe to go up any higher. And kind of the opposite, this black-headed doe. This black-headed doe is a really good designed one that's sound. She's just giving up way too much power today. This doe, as she projects into the future here, that could be a really nice yearling if fed really hard. But they're kind of the same way. And the doe, this painted doe coming in, one that just doesn't give you the best look from the side. She gets a little lower at the point of the shoulder, doesn't quite handle as good right there at that rack. And the little one down here in the bottom, just giving up too much pounds in production today. Give them a round of applause for a nice class.
All right, congratulations. Your 6 to 9 month old class winner is Addison Richardson. Julia Platt is second. Lauren Dickey is third. Elizabeth Wells is fourth. Lily Gator is fifth. Jonathan Smith sixth. And Morgan Schaefer seventh. Give them a hand. Now we have our first and second place class winners coming in as we choose the champion junior doe and reserve champion junior doe.
You know, as we get them lined back out here, we have 4 nice does out here in this junior drive. You know, and it comes down to when you get right in behind these, keeping them square to the ground. You know, these females got to go home and be mamas. You know, they got to be sound, they got to be good looking, they got to look like females. And the one that does that the best is the painted doe right here. She'll be your champion. Give her a round of applause. For reserve, I think there's another one that's got good rib shape, still good looking from the side and a sound package. I like the baser, maybe just a little wider, but she still walks square. Then our other one in contention, young lady right behind her is going to be your reserve. Give her a round of applause.
Congratulations, your champion junior doe is exhibited by Addison Richardson, reserve champion junior doe Julia Platt. Those champions will be returning for our overall grand champion meet doe. Next in is our yearling doe class shows. We're going to start with our 12 to 16 month. We should have 6 entries. All right, looks like we may be missing one from our 12 to 16. In this class, we should have Caitlin Hockemeyer, Keelan Moody should have 2, Addison Richardson 1, Lydia Young and Sophia Young. So Addison Richardson, if you have your 12 to 16 month, we need her up here. This is your class. All right, we're going to take just a second pause. We have a wrong scratch. We have that class coming in. We have one more we're waiting on. This is your class.
two nice does at the top end here, and they have their positives and negatives in terms of both. The doe we start with here, you love this one from the side in terms of how her neck ties into her shoulder. From there back, she handles pretty decent. I mean, she's not the biggest handling one we've seen today. She's got more natural forerib to her. When we put her on the move, she gets a little straighter out of that hip and hind leg than what our second place doe does, but still she's got the look and design that I'm looking for. The doe coming in here in second, one that's really sound on those feet and legs, square when she leaves you. I really need to fill in her right behind her shoulder, get her a few more pounds on her to fill her in right there, but she still gives you a really good look. We just got to fill her in a few places. The black painted doe coming in here, got some foot and got some bone. We just got to design her better to go over those top two individuals. The other black-headed doe coming in next here. We put her on the move again. We got to bring that tail head up higher, let her take a longer step off those rear two. And the two does down there on the end, we just got to design them better, make them look a little bit more like boar goats. Give them a round of applause for a nice class.
All right, congratulations. Your yearling doe, 12 to 16 month class winner, was exhibited by Caitlin Hockemeyer. Addison Richardson in second, Kaylin Moody third and fourth, Sophia Young fifth, and Lydia Young sixth. Next in is our last class of yearling does. So Caitlin and Addison, make sure you have your first and second place on deck. Now these are our 16 to 20 month does. We should have 4 in the class. Also a reminder to the class winners, we do have banners that you can display during the fair. We do ask, however, that the white banners with the clovers please be returned before you leave on Sunday so that we can use those again next year.
Another really nice class winner, and you get off to this side of this doe, and she's really fancy. Again, one that ties in really well in a lot of areas. She's level, she's sound. My big issue with this doe, this is a 16 to 20 class. This doe needs to be mature, and she is really, really green at her shoulder. You know, we need to make sure she's filled in there and from there back getting bigger, especially at this age. But that's a sound, good-looking doe to win that class. Doe coming in second. You know, she just kind of comes into second in terms of just structure. She gets out and moves better than our third place individual. One that you do like a lot of things about, except she gets a little shorter neck, shorter body, not quite as good looking from the side as what our class winner is. The doe coming in third here. The front 2/3 of this doe you appreciate for how she handles, the amount of rib that she has, how her shoulder lays in her. When we put her on the move again, she drops from hooks to pins there. We got to lift that tail head up and let her take a truer step off those rear two. And the black dapple doe down here on the bottom. This is a big body doe, just carrying way too much condition today. Give them a round of applause for a nice class.
Congratulations, your first place yearling doe, 16 to 20 month, exhibited by Evan Brubaker. Second place, Brenna Lake, followed by Gwen Brubaker and Tate Bonin. We'll now be selecting the champion yearling doe and reserve champion. So we need Caitlin Hockemeyer with your first place 12 to 16 month, Addison Richardson with your second place, followed by Evan Brubaker 16 to 20 month, and Brenna Lakes 16 to 20 month.
We'll give these 4 individuals a round of applause out here for a nice set of yearlings. You know, we get the 2 class winners out here. You know, 2 does that are really, you know, love the way they look from the side. They give you a really cool look. There's just one that's just way more goat than our other one. Young lady right here is going to have her champion yearling. Give her a round of applause. Again, for reserve, it gets a little bit closer, but when you get your hands on the amount of rack shape and natural rib, and when they come right at you, there's just more go. Young lady that was second in that class will be your reserve yearling. Give her a round of applause.
All right, congratulations, your champion yearling doe in the 2021 Allen County Meat Goat Show, exhibited by Caitlin Hockemeyer. Reserve champion yearling doe by Addison Richardson. Now coming in are our senior does, 24 to 30 months. We should have 3 in this class. Reminder that our champion junior doe and yearling, you will return for our overall grand champion and reserve grand champion meat does. Our senior doe 30 to 36 month is a single entry, so we need your over 36 months to be waiting on deck as well. Again, if you're just joining us, we would like to welcome you to the 2021 Allen County Meat Goat Show. Today's judge is Jesse Kimmel. Jesse is from Avila, Indiana. He is an ABGA certified judge, act teacher, and an FFA advisor in Wawasee. He raises show pigs and boar goats. Give him a hand and welcome to Allen County, Jesse.
You know, the young lady here in the blue shirt, she wins this class pretty easily. We have a doe that's really neat from the side. Again, I love the extension she has up front. Beautiful head and hornstead on this doe. Again, I'd like to maybe open her up a little bit in terms of her skeleton. But when you get right in behind this one, where I really need to change with this one tends to push in her hocks. We need to bring them hocks back in her side just a little bit to make her a little sounder off those rear two. The black doe coming in next, a big rib doe. They sound her feet and legs. We just got to make her prettier from the side to go up over that class norm. But there's a lot of production in that doe. On the doe coming in third, a big-footed, heavy-boned doe. Again, we got to bring that tail head up, make her sounder off those rear two to go any higher. Give them a round of applause for a nice class.
Congratulations. Your senior doe 24 to 30 month exhibited by Gwen Brubaker, Tate Bonin with your second place animal, and Lindsay Stone with your third. Now we have our single entry, senior does 30 to 36 months. Reminder, please get your over 36 months on deck, and then we will also need be choosing your champion senior does. For anyone following along, there has been a change in the show bill. Pygmy wethers are being moved, and they will be shown right before the dairy breed market wethers. This is your class.
You know, a single entry in this class and a doe that gives you a little bit of look and rib shape when you get your hands on her. I'd like to blow this one apart in terms of her skeleton, but still a nice doe. Give her a round of applause.
All right, and your 30 to 36 month is exhibited by Holly Howard. Next in are over 36 month does. We should have 9 entries. Following the champion senior does, then we will be bringing in our Angora and our Pygmies. like to take a second to recognize our top achiever and honor achievers who are helping pass out ribbons. Tonight, our top achiever is Owen Van Horn. Owen is the son of Kurt and Kelly Van Horn of Monroeville. He is a 9-year member of Monroe Hustlers and held the offices of President, Vice President, and Activities Director. He has also been a junior leader for 2 years, and in the fall, Owen will be a senior at Heritage High School. Congratulations, Owen. Thanks for being here. Next is our honor achiever, Ethan Beaupre. Ethan is the son of Mark and Lisa Beaupre of Fort Wayne. He is a 9-year 4-H member of the Eel River 4-H Club. In the fall, Ethan will be a senior at Carroll High School. Give him a hand. Congratulations.
we get the old ladies out here to show, and when we get these out here, a lot of it comes down to just are they in show shape, one, and two, how do you present them, because it makes a big difference keeping that head jacked up versus letting that head sag a bunch on these older does. And that's a little showmanship tip maybe for later tonight. The young lady's doe that wins this class, again, kind of wins pretty easy. There's a doe with a lot of power right there. She's sound. Is she the longest, coolest main thing we have in here? No. She's carrying maybe a little more chest than you'd like to see. But in terms of just true natural power and width, that doe has the most there. The painted doe coming in next. Here's just a doe that's sound and kind of complete. Her angles are correct. Does she wow you anywhere? No, she doesn't. But that's just a nice, productive doe. An interesting doe's coming in next. This one's really extended everywhere, sound. She just needs more weight on her to be in show shape, but one that's probably got some power if you actually probably produce some nice babies for how she's built. The next doe coming out here, again, a doe that we'd like to maybe just level her out right there behind her shoulder, give her a little more power, and you get right in behind her. The doe coming in next gets a little shorter neck, a little shorter made throughout. We need to extend her everywhere to go higher. The next doe gets a little lower right there at her shoulder. We need to fix that. The big black dapple painted doe, one that we just got to make prettier from the side, but monster rib in her. And the two does down here on the end, got to make them longer body, make them more pretty from the side. Give them a round of applause for a nice class.
Your senior does over 36 months. And remember, we need your senior doe class winners, first and second place, to come in for our champion and reserve champion. First place is Layla Elliott. Second place, Mallory Schaefer. Third place, Morgan Schaefer. Followed by Maggie Warner, Morgan Schaefer, Lindsay Stone, Keelan Moody, Tate Bonin, and Tate Bonin. So now we will be choosing the champion, senior doe, and reserve champion. So we should have in here Gwen Brubaker and Tate Bonin with first and second place 24 to 30, followed by Holly Howard with her 30 to 36, followed by Layla Elliott and Mallory Schaefer, our first and second place over 36 months. If you're just joining us, this is for the selection for our champion and reserve champion senior does for the 2021 Allen County Meat Goat Show. We are going to need our Angora doe and our pygmy doe on deck, and then we will be choosing our overall grand champion meat doe and overall reserve champion.
Five really nice does. Give these five young ladies a round of applause for doing an excellent job out here. We get out here and we got these three class winners. There's a lot of differences. We got a really pretty one up front. The question is, she's stout enough throughout, but she's excellent in terms of her neck and gives you a really cool look and a sound package. Our middle doe here, giving up a little pounds today, but still gives you a look from the side. Then our power does here in the back. Then you question, is she clean enough in terms of her chest? And when she just gets off to the side, is she pretty enough and elegant enough to move forward? For me, there's a doe out here that looks like a doe, looks like a lady. Young lady up front here is going to have your champion senior. Give her a round of applause. For reserve, there's another one. There's pieces of this doe that you really like. Big hip, big pin set, carries a lot of muscle down through that twist. Just like to make her a little better looking. Young lady here in the back is going to be your reserve champion senior. Give her a round of applause.
All right, congratulations. Your champion senior doe is exhibited by Gwen Brubaker with your reserve champion by Layla Elliott. Next in, we have single entries for our Angora doe and our pygmy doe, and then we will be selecting the overall grand champion meat doe and overall reserve grand champion meat doe.
You know, we have a single entry in terms of our Angora breed out here, but a doe that's really nice. She's sound and she's complete in terms of her rib shape. And then when you get your hands on her, when you look at her hair coat, she's got a really nice hair coat on her. One that's I think is going to do really well for these young women in terms of a breeding program. Give her a round of applause for a nice class winner. You know, a single entry here in our pygmy division too. A doe that's sound in her feet and legs. You like that about her. One I'd like to just stouten up throughout. Give her a little bit bigger feet and bone. Stouten up in terms of her head and her muzzle for a pygmy, but still a nice doe. Give her a round of applause.
Your champion Angora and champion pygmy are both exhibited by Mallory Schaefer. Now we need our our champion junior doe, our champions and reserve champion junior does should be Addison Richardson, Julia Platt, yearlings Caitlin Hockemeyer, Addison Richardson, seniors Gwen Brubaker, Layla Elliott. We will also need our champion Angora and champion pygmy doe. These are for our banners for overall grand champion meat doe. Following this, we will announce who we need for our county born and bred breeding does.
We'll give all these young people a big round of applause out here for a really nice set of does. You know, our junior champion out here, you know, one that's really cool from the side. You love how tall-shouldered she is. She's beautiful head and neck, handles really fresh with a great big square top in her with a big hip, and probably one of the squarest ones when she leaves us. You know, when we get her off this side here, sometimes she gets a little lazy on me in terms of her head and stuff. We'd like to keep that head up a little bit better, but still one that's got a lot of pieces to work with. You know, the yearling doe coming out here, one that's really cool fronted. Again, tall-shouldered, level down that top. You know, you question this one when you get right in behind her. Is she as big, as wide as what maybe our junior is? When she gets on the move, she may get a little straighter out of that hip and hind leg. But from the side, she's really neat. You know, our senior champion back here, you know, again, one that's really elegant from the side, level top. She pushes in them hocks pretty hard when we get right in there. You know, then we got our little breeds down here, our Angora doe. Our Angora doe is really good. She's really sound. She's a complete package. She's got a beautiful hair coat on her. You really like a lot of things about her. Our pygmy doe down here, again, one that's sound. I'd like to stouten her up throughout again for being a pygmy. Our reserve junior up there, you know, just a big-bodied sound doe. Again, maybe give her a shot more hip when we just get you right in behind her. That yearling doe, just a big rib sound female that's good looking. We need to fill her in a little bit in a few places. And then our reserve senior back there, just a big powerful doe, maybe make her a little prettier. So you got some gives and takes out here. You know, when it comes down to it, I'm always going to be, when it comes to does, in terms of soundness, they got to be square, they got to be sound. The junior's going to be your champion overall. Give her a round of applause. For reserve, another one again. I'd like to change her in a couple spots just in terms of her structure, but from the side, I love how this one's neck ties under her shoulder. The yearling's going to be our reserve. Give her a round of applause.
Congratulations, your overall grand champion meat doe was exhibited by Addison Richardson, and overall reserve grand champion meat doe, Caitlin Hockemeyer. Next in is going to be our county born and bred does. So these are does that have already been in the class. They might not have won their class, but they're the highest ranking as for their county born and bred. So we will be lining them up over there. No. So they are lining up our county born and bred over there. Mr. Clark, we got those lined up? Again, a reminder, if you have the show bill, Pygmy Weathers have been moved. They will be showing before the Dairy Goat Market Weather class. So again, these goats are born and bred in Allen County. The Meat Goat Show is based off of a production project, so it's always nice to see the youth bringing back improvements to their stock every year.
out here for our champion born and bred doe. You know, our grand doe overall. She'll be our champion. Young lady, go ahead and come out here. Really nice doe. We talked to her multiple times today. You know, for reserve, it gets really close. You know, we have our senior champion out here, one that's really good in terms of her look and design. And then we have the paint doe up front here that's kind of built a lot like this one. I like this one in terms of structure a little better. Young man up front here will be reserved. Give him a round of applause.
Your champion county born and bred doe was exhibited by Addison Richardson. Your reserve champion was exhibited by Evan Brubaker. Now we're going to be entering in with our mother-daughter class. It's kind of self-explanatory. This is a mother and a daughter. Please make sure if you have your mother-daughter, produce a dam, and ghetto sire goats, make sure you keep them up here close so we can run through these classes.
You know, we got mother-daughter pair out here, and we need to make sure we look at how the babies look, because that's in terms of a breeding program you're wanting to start to excel. And our class winner here, we got two does that are built a lot alike, really good in terms of look and design. The baby actually fixes the mom's problem in terms of her hock. I think she just needs more time to mature. Our second place set here, that baby has excelled. That mama there, one that I think is going to have a bright future ahead of her. And on down the line here, nice set of does. Give these young breeders a round of applause.
Congratulations, your champion mother-daughter pair is exhibited by Evan Brubaker, your reserve champion by Maggie Warner. Next in is going to be our produce of dam. These are two daughters from the same mother, but they may have different sires and they may be different ages. We will have one more group class after the produce of dam class, and then we will go right into our meat breed market goats. We're going to have 4 classes, so make sure you're starting to get those ready and bring them up on deck.
You know, we got Produce a Dam out here, and you know, I talked to the 2 young breeders up front here, and you know, they got 2 does that, again, very pretty from the side, sound, and we were talking a little bit. I'm like, if you got a mom that's producing ones that look like that, that's really good. Now we just got to find a buck that just blows them apart, because I think there's a lot of good pieces there that these 2 young people can take home. They win this class pretty handily. You know, the 2 big-bodied does coming in next, we'd like to make them a little prettier from the side, but in terms of rib shape, they're really good there. And the 2 down there, at the end, we just got to fix them in terms of structure. Give them a round of applause for a nice class.
Congratulations, your champion Produce a Dam is exhibited by Gwen Brubaker, reserve champion by Tate Bonin. Now we're going to be in our last group class, which is our Ghetto Sire meat goats. 2 daughters from the same father, may be different ages and may have different mothers.
You know, again, out here, get a sire and getting out of the same sire. And these 2 start laughing when they come in because we talked about it already, and it explains a lot. You know, good-looking does. They, again, win this pretty handily. Congratulate these 2 young breeders. The reserve will be these big-bodied Black Dapple and Black Doe coming in next. Again, we just got to make them a little better looking. The 2 little does will be third. Sound packages just got a little green today. And the does down there, and then we got fixed structurally. Nice set of does. Give them a round of applause.
Congratulations, your champion Ghetto Sire is exhibited by Gwen Brubaker, reserve champion Tate Bonin. We are going to now be starting in just a minute with our Class 1 meat breed market goats. All right, so we're going to start off with our meat breed market goats. These are goats with 1% of boar goat, and we should have 2, 4, 7 entries. Never mind, I was told they were going with the dairy before the dairy market weathers. All right, so these are, I lied to you all, these are our pygmy weather classes. We should have 2 classes.
We have our less than a year pygmy weather here. And again, one that's really stout skulled. You like that about him. He's got some natural chest width to him, got some rib shape. You know, one that's acting up just a little bit. I like to square him up right from behind when we get right in behind him, but a nice little pygmy weather. Give her a round of applause.
Your under 1 year pygmy weather is exhibited by Mallory Schaefer.
You know, out here in our 3-year-old pygmy weathers, we're going to start with the caramel up here. One that's he built really good. He's square, he's stout skulled, handles really good with some rib shape. And that's a really nice 3-year-old pygmy weather. The young lady coming in second here is not far behind. This is another one that's sound and big ribbed and stout skulled. Probably just not as square up right in behind, but still a really nice one. Give her a round of applause.
Now we're going to have our first place pygmy class winners come in for our champion pygmy. I'm sorry, we also need our second place for our our 3-year-old winners.
out here in our Pygmy Drive. We only had 3 entries, but these 2 young ladies that raised these have some really nice ones. And this Pygmy thing's starting to really take off for a lot of breeders, and getting them stout and making them still look good is kind of really cool, some of them. But for me, there's 2 out here that just kind of have a little better design. They're a little sounder. The 2 3+s will be your champion reserve. Give them a round of applause.
Your champion Pygmy is exhibited by Mallory Schaefer, and your reserve champion exhibited by Morgan Schaefer. That completes our Pygmy show. Now we're going to get started with our meat breed market goats. First in is going to be our Class 1. These goats range from 47 pounds to 76 pounds. And this is your class. Now it's your class.
You know, a really nice class to start this weather show with, and we have a couple young showmen up here that got some nice ones, and they're different, and they're type and kind. The real powerful ones coming in first here. You start at the ground and come up. This is by far the biggest footed one, bigger boned one, but when you get your hands on boulder rack, boulder rib, bigger hip. Is this one as cool in that front 1/3 is probably what our second place one is? No, but for today, he's good enough. That's a true little muscle guy there with a lot of power that you really appreciate. One that's coming in second here is a really good design one, a little greener in his makeup. Young man does a good job getting him showed. He's really squared. He just needs a little more time to mature in terms of his muscle to go over that class winner. The one coming in third here, another one that you like a lot of things about. Carries a lot of muscle down through that twist. Got a nice back. Doesn't handle as hard today. Gets a little weaker on them rear pasterns also compared to our top two individuals. The little black weather coming in. This is a really neat guy. He's sound. He's put together really well. He's just giving up too many pounds and too much muscle today. Kind of the same way with the red one coming in. A big ribbed guy that's sound. Just needs more days on feet. The black-headed one here. One we just got to design better. We got to clean him up in that front 1/3. Bring that tail head up. Make him harder. And the young man down there on the bottom. One we just got to give a shot more muscle throughout. Give him a round of applause for a nice class.
All right, now in is going to be our Class 2 meat goat breed market goats. We actually have 4 classes, but we do want to congratulate our first place and second place. Class 1, Caitlin Hockemeyer had your first place, and Cree Emmenizer had your second place. Congratulations. So we have 7 entries. These goats are very close. They range from 80 to 86 pounds.
Start with the young man's weather here, and he was excited to win this class, which is really neat for a young person to be excited about his project. You know, this guy's really good in lots of areas. You get off to the side of this one's neat fronted, he's tucked up in that chest floor, he's fresh in his handle, he's square to the ground. That one's got a lot of pieces we can work with here in the future. Very nice weather for the young man. A young lady coming in second here, very powerful weather. You love that about him. He's big backed, he's big hipped. When we put this one on the move, we need to make that hip longer when he takes a longer stride off those rear two. The red one coming in here, just giving up a little mass up high today, but one that's really good designed, really sound, got some natural muscle to him. We just got to make him a little harder compared to those top two individuals. The little doe kid coming in next, one that's really extended everywhere sound. We got to give her a bigger hip to go with that front 2/3 of that body. Young man's caped weather coming in, one we just got to design better, make him a little better looking, but got some true natural width to him. And the two down here on the end, again, two we got to design better, give him a shot more muscle, give him a round of applause for a nice class.
All right, congratulations. Your first place, Class 2 Meat Breed Market Goat, was exhibited by Cray Emmenizer. Second place by Brenna Lake. Next in is our Class 3. We should have 5 entries. These goats range from 89 to 96 pounds.
two really nice weathers at the top end here, and I'd like to change them both a little bit in that front end. I'd like to make them a little more extended, a little more youthful in terms of their look and design. Both these two are heavy bone, big footed guys with some rib shape. You know, our class winner here, he handles a little harder right there in terms of that shoulder and that rack. Carries a little more muscle down through that twist compared to our second place individual. But two really nice weathers. You know, I think these two young men did an excellent job showing. The young lady coming in third here, you know, a red weather that's a little bit longer, more extended, just doesn't have the overall power that our top two individuals do. Our young man coming in next, one that just gets softer made today, not quite as good design. And our dapple front end one up over there, got some length up front, but just giving way too much width up today. Give him a round of applause for a nice class.
Nice job. Your first place for Class 3 is Cray Emmenizer. Second place, Caleb Kneibler. Make sure that you keep those on deck. We're bringing in our Class 4, our heavyweights. These goats range from 102 to 116 pounds. Following the selection of your first and second place heavyweights or Class 4, we will need your first and second place class winners to come in. And then we will also need our champion county born and bred weathers for meat. So Jackson Scheider, Elizabeth Wells, and Jackson, again, you will need to have your goats up for county bred.
You know, we start with the young ladies painted weather here, and he wins this class pretty easily. You know, you get on, he's by far the freshest handling up top. He's big bone. He's still, in terms of weight, we're getting way above market weight here today, but still, he's at closest to 12 o'clock today, carrying a little extra condition, but big, powerful weather that's got some true natural muscle. This young lady did an excellent job. Give her a round of applause. Young lady coming in second here, really good design weather, giving up some natural width in terms of that chest, getting right behind him too, giving up a little shot of muscle, but still a good design one, fresh handling one. The young lady coming in third here, you know, one that's really good fronted, tall shouldered, long bodied, one that's not as fresh in terms of his handle, a little softer today compared to those top two, but still a lot of production there. Young lady, a big rib sound guy here. We got to blow him apart from front to rear to move him up any higher. The red one here, the young lady did a good job getting a hard brace on him. He's too short necked. He's carrying too much condition today to go up any higher. The black-headed one here, just too soft, gets a little bit lazier in terms of his top line. And the two weathers down here on the end, easy feeding, productive ones, but we got to give him a shot more muscle. Give him a round of applause for a nice class.
All right. All right. While we're waiting on those first and second place class winners, we can have Eleanor Fink. Eleanor was our champion meat breed market goat rate of gain. Her goat gained 0.636 pounds per day. And our reserve champion was a two-way tie with Wyatt Fink at 0.523 pounds per day and Jackson Scheiderer with 5.23 pounds per day. So if Wyatt and Jackson come up, we'll give you your ribbons. As we wait for our class winners, first and second place. So we should have Caitlin Hockemeyer, Cray Emmenizer, Brenna Lake, Cray Emmenizer, Caleb Kneibler, Landry Carpenter, and Lily Gator. All right. If you're just joining us, we are getting ready to have our judge choose our grand champion meat breed market goat and our reserve grand champion. That grand champion meat breed market goat banner is donated by Lewis Livestock, sorry. And reserve champion is by Jennings Equipment. We appreciate all of our sponsors and donors. Thank you.
Well, give these 8 young people a big round of applause out here for doing an excellent job. You know, you get these 4 class winners out here. You know, our class 1, you know, this is a true power goat. This one's got muscle everywhere. It's fresh in its handle, carries a lot of muscle down through that twist, big-footed, big bone. You know, the one place you do question this one, is he long enough fronted for you? Is he good enough fronted? You know, that one's got a lot of pieces from their back that is pretty unique in a lot of areas. You know, we get our class 2 winner here. You know, probably the prettiest one out of our 4 class winners. He's really good looking from the side. He's dead level down that top. You know, he doesn't handle as big as what our other 3 class winners do. You know, I think his better days are down the road here, but there's a lot of good in that guy there. You know, our class 3 here, another one that's got a big top in him. You like that, great big hip. But when we get off to the side of him, is he good enough in terms of his shoulder? His neck detachment comes a little lower for me. He's a little lower fronted. I like to just pick him up there to make him a better design go off to the side. Then our big heavyweight Weather back here, you know, for the weight that he's at, he handles really good. Is he past due? Yes. You know, he's not quite at 12 o'clock. You know, there's 4 good goats out here. For me, the one that handles the best, gives you the best look, best design from the side in terms of that top line, and still handles really good. The young lady up front here is going to be your champion. Give her a round of applause. For reserve, another one I love a lot of things about in terms of the handle. I just got to fix him there in terms of his shoulder and his neck attachment. Young man right here is going to be reserved. Give him a round of applause.
Congratulations, your grand champion meat breed market goat is exhibited by Caitlin Hockemeyer, and your reserve grand champion meat breed market goat by Cray Emmenizer. Great job. Next in, we are going to have our champion county born and bred meat goat. So we should have a couple entries lined up. We should have Jackson Scheiderer, Elizabeth Wells, Jackson Scheiderer, and Roger, who is our class 4. Landry Carpenter.
You know, out here in this county born and bred, you know, a really nice set of goats. And for me, there's one out here that kind of overpowers everything. I wish I'd got to see this guy about a month ago. The Paint Weather right here is going to be your champion. Give him a round of applause. Good job, young lady. For reserve, another one I like a lot of things about in terms of how this one's built, how it handles. Young lady up front here is going to be a reserve. Give her a round of applause.
So your champion county born and bred meat goat is exhibited by Landry Carpenter, and your reserve by Elizabeth Wells. Now we are going to be getting ready for our dairy breed market goats. These goats may not have any boar goat or meat goat in them. All right, this is your Class 1 dairy breed market goats. These goats range from 49 to 65 pounds.
Starting the dairy weather show here, and the young lady gets a nice little brace on the weather we start with here. He's really explosive when you get your hands on him for a rib shape. He's got a big pin set in him. And for these dairy weathers, they're not bred for this, but this guy's got some true natural muscle in, really good design, really good looking. That's a nice place to start. Young man's coming in, sat here. Another one that's got some length and extension, some rib shape. We get right in behind this guy. This guy tends to narrow up compared to our class winner. The next one, a good design one, just really green compared to our top two. Still sound on those feet and legs. The next one here, one that's long body, just greener in his makeup still. We'd like to square him up from behind. And the two down here on the end, we got to give him a shot more muscle and width, but still two good design ones. Give him a round of applause for a nice class.
Congratulations, your Class 1 dairy breed market goats. First place exhibited by Holly Howard, followed by Landon King, Parker Bonin, Brady Howard, Isaac Warner, Miles Manilang. Congratulations. Next in is going to be our Class 2. These goats range from 67 to 72 pounds. We should have 7 goats in this class.
Start with the young ladies, Nubian Weather here. You know, one that's just bigger everywhere compared to the rest of the class. You get your hands on him, he's boulder rack, boulder rib, got a bigger loin in him, carries more muscle out through that hip compared to our rest of our class. A nice weather for that young lady. A really good designed one coming in next. I love this one in terms of look from the side, sound and square, just not as bold about the front 2/3 of that one's body compared to our class winner. The other Nubian coming right here, built a lot like our first place one, but when we get right in this from the side, this one breaks in its top line. We got to level it out and give it a shot more width from behind compared to our top 2 individuals. You know, one that's really long necked and tall shouldered coming in next. You know, this little doe kid's really neat in lots of areas. Again, we just got to make her bolder throughout. The San and Doe, or Weather coming in, a bold ribbed one, we just got to design better from the side. And the 2 down here on the end, we just got to make it better in terms of feet and legs. Give them a round of applause for a nice class.
Congratulations, your Class 2 first place winner, Gwen Brubaker. Your second place class winner, Tate Bonin, followed by Evan Brubaker, Hallie Paul, Kateri Emmerich, Carmen Miller, and Lucia Warner. Next up is going to be our Class 3. This is our last class of our dairy market breed, and then we'll need our first and second place class winners to select the Grand Champion Dairy Breed Market Goat. We should have 6 goats. They range from 73 to 84 pounds.
You know, a really nice class, or upper weight, Dairy Weathers here. And the one that wins this class pretty handily. You get your hands on this one. This one's one of the boldest ones we've seen all day. Great rack and rib shape, big loin, one of the bigger hipped ones we've seen. And when he gets his head elevated, that's a really neat looking one from the side. A lot of good there in that guy there. That Alpine one coming in second. Got a little more chest width than what our class winner does, which you'd like. Handle's really good. Probably not as designed good from the side in terms of length of body and true natural muscle out through that hip, but still the front 2/3 of that one's really good. The two Toggenburgs coming in next almost look identical, except our third place one's got a little less belly. We need to suck that belly off of them, make it a little more streamlined, but two nice Weathers that's grown well. The white one coming in next, a sound package, just not enough natural width and muscle today. Young man, we got to give him a little more natural rib shape and drop him that rear flank. Give him a round of applause for a nice class.
All right, now we're going to need our first and second place class winners in the ring so that Jesse can choose Grand Champion Dairy Breed, Market Goat, and Reserve. Your first place, Class 3 Dairy Breed Market Goat, was exhibited by Dylan Paul. Second place, Holly King. If you're just joining us, we're getting ready to have our Judge Jesse choose the Grand Champion Dairy Breed Market Goat and Reserve Grand Champion. Then we'll be doing our champion dairy born and bred, and then we'll be getting into showmanship. Followed by showmanship, we do have a costume class. You don't want to miss it.
Yeah, we get these 6 Dairy Weathers out here. Give these 6 young individuals a round of applause. You know, and this is a growing project across the state. You know, back in my day, I'm not going to say how old I am, but old enough. You know, when I was young, we'd always make fun of the people who showed dairy steers, and now the Dairy Steer Project's one of the biggest projects in the state. You know, and I see this with the Dairy Weathers also. This is kind of, I had more phone calls for Dairy Weathers this spring, and I don't even raise dairy goats. You know, people wanting them to show, and this is a really good set. And these young people out here has done an excellent job getting these ready and getting them fed, making them look good. You know, and they should be very, very proud of this. And when we get these 6 out here, I think there's one that just handles tremendously big. He's good looking from the side. He's sound and square. Young man here in the back is going to be your champion. Give him a round of applause. You know, for Reserve, it gets a little closer. I got one that maybe handles a little bigger up high, one that's not as good built, and I got one that's really good built, handles pretty good where he's at. Young lady here in the middle is going to be your Reserve champion. Give her a round of applause.
Congratulations, your Grand Champion Dairy Breed Market Goat is exhibited by Dylan Paul, your Reserve Champion by Gwen Brubaker. We also want to recognize our Champion Dairy Breed Market Goat Rate of Gain. Holly King's goat, gained 0.58 pounds every day. Reserve Champion was Kai Emmerich. Congratulations. Roger Clark, do you have our county born? Amy, do we have those? We should have Holly Howard with your Class 1 winner, Gwen Brubaker with your Class 2 winner, and Dylan Paul with your Class 3 winner in for our County Born and Bred. As soon as we get these 3 goats in here for our County Born and Bred, we will be jumping right into our showmanship. We are starting off with our mini showmanship participants.
We only got 2 out here in our County Born and Bred, which is pretty cool because one was, our grandmother overall, and the other one was a class winner. So these breeders should be very proud. Young man here in the back will be our champion County Born and Bred. Young lady up front there with a nice little weather will be our reserve. Give them a round of applause.
Congratulations. Dylan Paul is your champion County Born and Bred dairy, and Holly Howard is your reserve champion. So we're going to be getting ready for our minis. They're going to come in. As we are getting everybody up here, we do want to announce our pen decorations. If you have not been out in the goat barn, these kiddos went all out. Our theme was lights, camera, action. So we've got some, of course, fitting movie buckets here. So first place went to Lillian Zeidler. If you haven't seen hers, it is Jaws. She has a shark suspended. Second place is Goat Busters, which was a whole compound back there. The Dyers, the Richardsons, the Kniblers, the Lakes, the Gators. So if you want to come up and get your bucket. And third place went to the Carmen Miller with the Yellow Brick Road and the Wizard of Oz. So we do have your movie buckets up here if you want to send somebody up. Yes, give them a hand. We have a couple more minis coming in.
They all get ice cream. I may be in this division here real soon. I'm a fat man, so I need some ice cream. You know, we look out here, give these young people a big round of applause out here in this mini 4-H. And if you have mini 4-Hers, this is the scariest moment of the show because you're cutting your kids loose out here with your animals and you're not quite sure what's going to happen. But these guys are all doing a great job. The little young lady up front there getting a good little brace on them, and all these kids get them set up, got their heads up, got them under control. Give them a big round of applause. Parents, you should be very proud. You guys can go ahead and head out this direction.
Reminder in the building, and we'll announce this in the barn, if you are selling your goat in the auction, we need that paper within an hour of the time that the show ends. Also, Goat Project members are going to be responsible for cleaning up here in the show barn, so make sure that you do so afterwards. So now we are getting ready for our junior showmanship. This is grades 3 through 5. This is the grade that you just completed.
Well, give these give this big group out here a big round of applause for doing an excellent job. For having this many young members in a club, especially in a growing industry, this is really cool to have this many young people out here and this many good showmen. Everybody did an excellent job out here. I got to pick a top three. I'm gonna talk four young people out here who did an excellent job. My fourth place individual sometimes just didn't have them feet quite set good enough for me today, but probably in terms of knowing where I was at and knowing, always having their eye on me. The young man right here will be my fourth place individual. Give him a round of applause. Always knew where I was. Eyes was always on me. We just got to get them feet set a little bit better. Out here for my top three, my third place individual, sometimes it was more their goat was wanting to circle on them a little bit, but they kept very cool. They kept the feet set. Again, their teammate kind of let them down. Young lady right here is going to be our third place individual. Give her a round of applause. Second and first were extremely close, and they're showing two different style animals. One is showing a market style, one showing a doe style, and when we get this set is how do we keep the head elevated when we keep them on the move, and also when we have them set, and do we keep feet set all the time at the same length? I think one person kept the feet set a little bit better in terms of keeping them at the correct distance at all times. Sometimes when they would jack the animal up, I'd like to maybe just calm that down just a little bit, but they're young. I have a young daughter. She can't reach any legs of any doe I give her, so I understand it. Second place individual, one thing I'd like to keep that head a little more elevated when we're standing here. Second place individual is going to be her right here. Give her a round of applause. First place individual did an excellent job getting the animal on the brace. Young lady right here is going to be our champion. Give her a round of applause. Thank you all for coming.
Your first place and your champion junior showman is Caitlin Hockemeyer. Caitlin, you will come in and participate in the overall, so please make sure you stay around. Second place, Addison Richardson. Third place, Carmen Miller. And fourth place, Cray Emmenizer. Nice job. Next in is our intermediate division, and anyone who has won our beginner before, and so these will be 6th to 8th grade. Reminder, following showmanship and awarding of the overall meat goat showman, we will be having a costume class.
We'll give this group of showmen a big round of applause out here for doing an excellent job. You know, our top three out here, I think kind of separated themselves and getting their feet set, but also keeping that head elevated where the animal looks their best. My third place individual did an excellent job keeping the head elevated, knew where I was all the time. Sometimes I'd like to see them feet maybe just set back a little bit farther. Young man right here will be our third place individual. Give him a round of applause. Second place individual, again, kept them feet pretty well set. Maybe he had, I caught him with his back to me just once, but does a really good job. Young man up here will be our second place individual. Give him a round of applause. Our first place individual, I think, is a really good showman. I don't remember seeing her a whole lot in the ring, but I do remember seeing her and knowing how good she was. Young lady up front here is going to be your champion. Give her a round of applause.
All right, congratulations. That intermediate class was your champion intermediate showman is Haley King. You'll be coming back in for overall. Second was Brady Howard. Third was Kabler Knibler. Next in is going to be our senior. So this is grades 9 through 12, and anyone who has previously won the intermediate class, if they're even younger. And then we will have our master.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll give these senior kids out here a big round of applause for doing an excellent job. You know, and again, you know, our third place individual here, I think did an excellent job, and it was more their teammate was kind of letting them down. They did an excellent job, kept their cool, got the goat set up. The goat wanted to move on them a little bit. Young lady right here in the second hole will be your third place individual. Give her a round of applause. You know, second and first were extremely close, and when it really came down to, I wasn't quite sure first or second until it come down to right here at the end, and when I goes on the opposite side, you know, the one maybe not got the feet set quite as square as what I would like them to be, but they do an excellent job in a unique show style because of what she's showing. The young lady with the Angora will be your second place individual. Give her a round of applause. Our first place individual has done a good job all day. Very smooth. They always know where I'm at. They switch sides excellent. They keep the goat away from them, get that chain at the proper distance. Young lady up front here is going to be your champion. Give her a round of applause.
All right, congratulations, your champion senior showman for the 2021 Meat Goat Show is Tate Bonin. Second place, Morgan Schaefer. Third place, McKenna Malcolm. Nice job. Now we will have our previous overall winners. and previous senior winners will come in for overall, as well as today's junior, intermediate, and senior champions. So we'll have Caitlin Hockemeyer, Haley King, Tate Bonin, as well as all of our others, previous winners. Reminder, if you are a 4-H'er who is planning on selling your goat in the auction, we need your paper. You have 1 hour following the end of the show. Following the selection of the overall meat goat showman and our showman to showman participant, we will be having our costume class.
Mic is on. We're going to pick a top 3 out here, but before we do that, give these 8 individuals out here a big round of applause for doing an excellent job. You know, and all the way from our young person up here, all the way to our, our master showman, they've done an excellent job. And, I changed up my routine a little bit there towards the end and had them kind of round out. And, we could sit for hours and argue which way is the correct way. I know my correct way. A couple of them did it. And I know there's a showmanship camp that teaches it the other way. So I just want to make sure they can control their animal, make sure they rotate correctly, and whichever way you guys think is correct, that's okay. I'm not going to be be super picky on that. All these kids can show. They can outshow me. They can outshow you parents outside the ring. So when you get on them at the end, just remember they'll still beat you in a showmanship contest. We come down here, our little young showman down here, her goat was given out on. That goat's been out here in the ring a lot today. He is starting to be a little stubborn, but you talk about a little young lady that can get one braced, that's her. She does an excellent job of that. Our other young lady that comes out of that next division, you talk about smooth and collected and always knowing where I'm at and keeping everything good. She does an excellent job. Young man coming out, I've seen him show a lot today. Very smooth. I'd like to maybe change how he works the chain a little bit on that neck, but that's minor details. Our young lady next one, when that doe just wants to stand there, she's as good a showman as anybody, but that doe's wanting to dance around a little bit today. Our next young lady here, consistency on where we set them feet sometimes is sometimes we give them a little short, sometimes we give them a little longer, but you talk about a young lady that keeps that head elevated the whole time, that's really good. Kind of the same way with our next young lady here. She keeps that head super elevated. Again, maybe getting them feet set. Our young lady come out of our senior division here, so smooth and correct and keeps that chain at the correct length at all times. That goat's like set up the same exact way no matter what side I'm on. And our little young lady coming out here, you talk about somebody with poise and always knows and very smooth, and she showed that all day. And again, that goat's maybe getting a little more heavy-headed today. But my third place individual, I think is going to be a super, super good one in the future. I think she's as smooth as anything. I think she just needs a little more time to mature. Young lady right here will be our third place individual. Give her a round of applause. Our second place individual, again, one I think keeps that head up. Again, I think setting the feet at the same distance all the time, but she keeps that head up. Young lady right here is going to be our second place individual. Give her a round of applause. Our first place individual overall has done an excellent job. Feet are always set, very smooth. The young lady with the dapple doe is going to be our champion. Give her a round of applause.
Congratulations, your master showman and our overall meat goat showman and participant in our Showman to Showman contest is Tate Bonin. Second place, Gwen Brubaker. Third place, Haley King. We are going to do our costume class. We want to thank everybody for coming out. A special hand to our judge, Jesse. I know he's really excited about judging the costume class. Don't go anywhere yet. You have not seen these costumes.
I need extra.
right, if you're ready, we need your costume entries in here. If you are doing costume for your goat, we need you in the show barn. All right, so if you are set up in a group, stay together. We do have a couple little things to read for some folks who turned them in. And we're also still waiting on a couple. If you have a paper and I start reading it, just step out forward so they know where you are. Oh my gosh, I thought that was a poodle. All right. So, first up, Thomas Eimerichen Cloudy. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's an intercontinental hypersonic nuclear missile. It's a goat. This caped caprine by name, flies through the skies of Allen County searching for evildoers and the occasional treetop. This goat sports twin laser eyes and a dedicated handler. Sometimes she just can't drag herself away from those tasty leaves. Luckily, her handler always is near to make sure she doesn't get carried away. Fun fact, the caped caprine acquired her powers when she happened upon a power cable and decided to sample it. Nice job. All right. And we've got a group right here. It's the Wizard of Oz. Nice. It's the Tin Man, the Scarecrow, and Glinda the Good Witch? Or are you the Bad Witch? You're the Bad Witch. All right, next. Ladies and gentlemen, turn your attention to the center ring to watch our talented ringmaster, Reese Milanowski, try to tame the ferocious lion goat, Duffin. Note she said try to tame, yes. Nice job, Reese. Next up, this jawsome pair, consisting of Karma Hudson in 5th grade and her shark Levi, swam in today from Leo. No need to worry, Levi has been fit with this attack-proof halter for your safety. Nice job, Karma. All right, and here's our Rocky 3, Rocky versus Apollo. Nice job. How do you get a goat to wear a tutu? And next up, we have Cinderella. We have the fairy godmother with her glowing, yes. And we have Gus Gus, my favorite mouse. Nice job. It looks like we're voting for Pedro over here with our last participant and how fast she can grow a mustache.
All right, out here in our costume contest, everybody did an excellent job. These are all really good, costumes, especially after a long day of showing. We had a consensus here, and we think one came to the top. Our little lion tamer and our person right here, she's going to win our costume contest. Give her a big round of applause. Thank you, guys. Get your ice cream on the way out.
Nice job. Congratulations, Reese Milanowski. Special thank you to our judge, Jesse. We appreciate you coming. Give him another hand. Give all these 4-Hers a great. And remember, we are cleaning up this show barn, so please do not wander far away. We need you to clean up. I hope you enjoyed the pizza party at noon. And remember, we have Dairy Goat show starts at 10 a.m. on Friday morning.